It's cool for me to be back in Indiana. I grew up in Indiana, but I recently moved out east. I just had to, man. I had to leave the Midwest. I was getting fucking sick of pretending I support the troops. It was exhausting. But leaving Indiana was a pretty crazy experience. You guys want to hear about it? Yeah! It's my best story. Totally fucking true story. Totally true story. My girlfriend and I, we had just graduated from Purdue University, right? We had just graduated. Boo! We should all go to the same fucking school. Yay! I'm sorry some of us understand math. We do what we can. But anyway, I had just graduated from Fuck Your Face University. And my girlfriend and I, we had just graduated. Like, we're moving, like, literally the very next day. We're leaving, like, the very next day. Like, everything's packed up. The only thing that's left in our apartment is, like, my air mattress and my big 3-foot glass water bookcase. Yeah. Anyway, we fall asleep at about midnight. At about 12:30, I hear the most terrifying scream I've heard in my entire life. Right, so we wake up and we run out to the balcony. And we're living on like the 5th floor of a big apartment complex, overlooking another big apartment complex. And when we look over the edge of the balcony, we see a guy who's just lying on the ground in like a weird, twisted pile of bloody, broken, bent right angles, right? And this other maniac is just running along the sidewalk, just screaming at the top of his lungs, just screaming, "Call 911! Call 911! Call 911!" Right, so we do the only logical thing. We fucking run downstairs to get a better look at what's going on. As does every other person in our apartment complex. Right, like 30 of us, we run downstairs to get a better look at what's going on. But in just the few seconds that it takes us to run out there and huddle up, a few key things have happened. First off, the cops are there immediately. Like 10 to 12 cop cars come ripping into the parking lot, right? And they mean fucking business, right? The second thing that's happened is the guy that I thought was the bad guy, the dude running around, he has just disappeared. He's gone. But the guy that was on the ground has now proceeded to get up, and he is now running around waving something over his head. Right now, like, I can't tell if it's a ball bat or a shotgun, but it's menacing, you know, it's scary. And I know it's scary because the cops mean fucking business. They come pouring out of their cars, 2 at a time with their guns already drawn, like it's the last scene in the movie Heat. And I hear the cops yell at the dude, "Put the sword down! Put down the sword!" We're all gathered up in the corner, and every last one of us goes, "Holy shit! This maniac's got a sword! High five! High five! High five! This is a high five!" The dude with the sword looks directly at the cops and just screams, "The sword has nothing to do with this!" I don't even have a fucking sword! Then I hear the cops yell at the dude, "If you don't put down the sword, we will hit you with a beanbag gun." Holy shit, the cops have got a beanbag gun. High five, high five, high five. I didn't even know those were real. Now, I don't know if anybody here has ever had the opportunity to see a man get hit with a beanbag gun, but if you haven't, do so. Because everything just stops. He's screaming, he's fighting, he's hating the world. Boom! They hit him with a beanbag. He goes parallel to the ground and then comes crashing down. But then faster than any gymnast or pro wrestler or fucking ninja, he flips right back up to his feet. And then the cops hit him again. Boom, boom, 2 beanbags. Boom, boom, 2 beanbags. Would have been like 6 points in a game of cornhole. And then the cops mace him. All the cops mace him. Like 30 cops, spray him with mace, strap him onto a gurney, ship him off into an EMT. We're freaking out, right? Like a lot's going on. You keeping up, sugar? Awesome. Like a lot, like this is a great story. Like not only is this a great story, you guys have got to keep in mind, I had just been reading. So the cop yells up to us, he's like, hey, are you guys the ones that called 911? And we're like, yeah. He goes, is it cool if we come up there and we get your story? And we're like, no. Because our apartment still smells like books. So anyway, so we go down to the cop and we fill out our story, and my girlfriend finishes up right away. I was an English major that just saw a fucking sword fight. So I'm writing my own little novella, you know. Anyway, my girlfriend finishes up, she asks the cop, she goes, so what happened here, dude? And the cop pulls like the hard ass, I'm a cop answer, you know what I mean? Well, I ain't supposed to say nothing. But then he realizes he just saw the same fucking sword fight I saw, and he goes, but here's what happened, dude. Alright, so it's a couple of gay guys, they're always fighting, it's always the same old shit. And I'm like, well, I gotta think the sword's new. He goes, yeah, last time he was bashing his head in with a toaster. I said, I'm with you, continue. And he says the 2 men got to fighting. The one guy grabbed his katana sword and stabbed his boyfriend. I go, holy shit, is that the scream that we heard? The cop goes, no, no, no. After the man got stabbed, he just ran outside. The scream that you heard was when the guy we arrested, the guy with the sword, decided to jump, hi-ya, out of his 5th floor balcony to head his boyfriend off at the pass. Yeah, the dude with the sword decides to jump, hi-ya, out of a 5th floor balcony to stab his boyfriend. That means that cat had gotten so mad, that he was so angry, that he was so pissed off, he had forgotten shit falls down. So anyway, so he jumps, hi-ya, out of the 5th floor balcony, lands, shatters both of his ankles, stabs himself in the throat with his own katana sword, right? Then he proceeds to fight like 15 to 30 cops. Really well. Really well. Says, I go, holy shit, do you need us to like come back and verify this story? Do you need us to come back and sign anything or whatever? The cop goes, no, no, we're done with you, we're good. I go, are you sure? Are you sure you don't need us to come back? Because we're moving like tomorrow, we're leaving. Cop looks me right in the eye, he goes, no, we're good. Hey, where is it you're moving to? I go, oh, well, we're moving to New York City. The cop looks me right in the eyes and goes, New York City? That place is fucking weird. You guys are awesome. I'm DeeJay Dangler.
DeeJay Dangler, everybody. Again, thanks for coming out. It's awesome. We have another great show for you next week. We've got Vincent Holiday, Vinnie Lanford, Renan Hirschberg, and the hilarious Jerry Goebel headlining. So make sure you come back out for that. Thanks again, Damon and the Seeking Chip for letting us do this. Have a good night. Don't forget to pick up Indie Planet on your way out. Thanks.